Hello everybody, and welcome back to Chapter Master. Now, Spark Reaper, thank you very much Spark Reaper by the way, recommended or requested of me that I do a couple videos as the Cacaradons, or the Space Sharks, depending on your level of High Gothic or Low Gothic. And so I thought I might as well give it a go, because I'm always open to taking requests, guys, so if there's ever a video you actually want me to do, let me know. Now, I apologize, this was actually supposed to be a day earlier in uploading, but annoyingly, I had a lot of trouble getting this going, because the fluff on the Cacaradons is freaking non-existent. I went looking through Lexicanum, Warhammer 40k wiki, everything. If I still had my copies of Imperial Armor Volume 9 and 10 with me, instead of back home in Auckland, I would have even gone through them as well, but I could find bugger all, so I'm afraid this might not be as accurate or as well researched as some of my others, but I'm going to give it my best go. Okay, Cacaradons, chapter icon, founding chapter of the Raven Guard. I will explain that later, even though that is actually accurate. Fleet base, they're a nomadic fleet, so they operate, from battle barges and strike cruisers on the fringes of the Imperium. High strength, low cooperation, just because they don't really get out much. Purity and stability, that needs to fit with the Raven Guard theme. Advantages, lightning warriors and melee enthusiasts. Self-explanatory, they basically rip shit up with chain swords and chain axes. Scavengers, because they have a knack for jury-rigging and repairing weapons and ammunition, and you have a lot of Mark V armor and, patch-rigged Space Marine suits and things. Ambushes, because believe it or not, despite the fact everyone thinks of them as world eaters, charging them with chain blades, they do actually have a lot of stealth capability, because they are a descendant of the Raven Guard, and it is actually stated in the fluff that they'll creep up to where an enemy is, all sneaky like, and then rush in dual-wielding chain axes, chopping everyone to bits. So I've included that in there as well. Splintered, because they're a nomadic fleet, they kind of operate independently. Sieged, because the Cacaradons are actually quite a sieged chapter. A lot of Heresy era equipment. A lot of it's in a bad state of repair. Flagship is the Nikor, and the recruiting world, I couldn't find one, but that's the name. The Death World of Hydroper is the name of one of the worlds they conquered, so I just went for that. Blood Duel, I figured that fitted in with the Cacaradons theme. I wasn't quite too sure on what their actual recruitment trial is, because, once again, the fluff's pretty limited. Psychic Discipline Rune Magic, believe it or not, that actually fits in the closest with them. They have a tendency to summon, one of their spells involves summoning a giant demonic, or giant psychically powered, set of jaws that eats enemies. Another one is I think it's like a frost blast. So, rune magic really fits in with them the closest. They don't have a battle cry, and while I was very tempted to write shark, 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 or dun 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 dun, I didn't think that was fitting, and yelling just a blood-curdling scream was a bit hard to type, so I've left it as it is. Now, I do apologize, but the most irritating thing about this is the fact that I couldn't find any names for anyone except the Chapter Master. I went looking, for about an hour, trying to find names of all the rank names of the Cacaradons, but they don't exist. As I said, if I still have my copies of Imperial Armor with me, which I really should bring down, actually, then I'll try and look up in there for them, but I'm afraid I don't. So, there you go. Congratulations. Wait, I think I spelt that wrong. Bugger it, it stays. Okay, so I do apologize about that. Now, they do actually follow the Codex Astartes, loosely, but they do still follow it for standard, force organization, so I'm leaving that as it is. Raven Guard successors, so these are the two gene seed defects they have. Tiberius, he is actually armed with Terminator armor and dual lightning claws, but I will address that later. Okay, apologies for boring you to death. Let's get on to it. Alright. Right, first thing we need to do is unite as many fleets together as possible. So summon the battle barge, get it over there. We just want to try and patch rig a few. I don't want to have, you know, one massive fleet, but I want to have a few smaller fleets that can. Nostromo, oh, that is so fitting. I love it. Anyway, carrying on. I want to have just a few small patch fleets that can come together and deal with shit. Alright, we will spend our starting time. Ooh, what have you? Ooh, 2 escort ships. Send you over here. Okay, so, yes, carrying on. Let's just reunite all these fleets together. And we will carry on. Okay. Ooh, Wardian. Wow. It's covered by orcs. I think we need to burn that world to the ground. They do have a bit of a fleet, though. We'll figure that out. Right, there's the capital ship and 1 frigate. I think a good priority would be to send our escort vessels to reunite with them. Alright, carrying on. Cacaradons. Oh shit, 4 escort vessels? Whoa. What's on Ulanor? Deptus sororities and Tyranid presence. Ooh. Probably need to kick the crap out of them. Okay, carrying on. Let's just get some guys together. Now, you have 3 frigates. Well, orc presence moderate. First priority, let's wipe out these orcs. Let's see what the Cacaradons can do. Oh, I kinda. We're gonna praise her. Because, believe it or not, the Cacaradons actually have a good reputation with the Imperial Creed. I know, considering their background and history, it seems weird, but I actually confirmed this on a few different sources. But apparently they actually have good respect for the Imperial Creed as a chapter, so we're gonna carry on. And I think 3 full companies of Cacaradons are going to take these orcs apart. Oh, look at that. They just crushed them instantly. Nice work. Alright, right. Oh yes, you're going to reunite with them. And Nostromo. Now this is rather fitting, actually, that they happen to be on Nostromo. Oh, Ice World. If it was a dead world, it would have been perfect. Anyway. Pardon me. God. Gordon Bennett. Alright. Boosh. Right, Cacaradons. Carry on. Now. Yeah, Cacaradons, I will be honest, I don't really like them, because I know it's odd, but for the Lamenters in my playthrough, I really invested in them, and I like them very much. So I tend to, you know, favour them, but I've never really liked the Cacaradons, believe it or not. It's just, their philosophies go against a bit of my own. I'm not a fan of the bloodthirsty, psychotic, psychopath, you know, charge in and kill everything vibe. I mean, not to say it can't be fun. You know, I love Doom and Painkiller, so I do appreciate the catharsis of going in with a minigun and a melee weapon and just turning everyone into a red smear that needs to be cleaned off the walls with a mop. I genuinely do, but in the context of the Imperium, I think chapters should be a bit more like, I suppose, the Lamenters or the Salamanders or the Space Wolves. I think the Space Wolves are probably the best, because they, you know, are able to charge in and wipe everyone out, but they're also capable of showing restraint. But I must admit, I do love the fluff of the Cacaradons, even though it contradicts itself a bit. Oh, nice. Because originally, the fluff for the Cacaradons was so varied, because originally it was believed that they were Raven Guard successors, then it was, you know, we were led to believe that they were actually Loyalist Night Lords, which I thought was a pretty cool concept, because there were actually a whole bunch of Loyalist Night Lords during the Heresy. There was the Chief Librarian of the Night Lords was actually... Ooh, Tyranids. the chief librarian of the Night Lords was actually a loyalist and ended up joining the Malcador's chosen, original Grey Knights. And there was actually at least a couple squads of loyalist Night Lords that actually helped out the Raven Guard during the heresy. So, the possibility of a loyalist Raven Guard successor, no, a loyalist Night Lords chapter, was actually not that unfounded. But then it was also led to believe that they were actually secretly World Eaters, which, interesting that they would think that, but still pretty cool, I must admit. I mean, because I've always liked the idea of the loyalist traitors, like, the company of Death Guard, that Garrow created, the loyalist, one frigate. Oh, that's one company. Wonder what they could do. Can't really deal with heavy Tyranids, I will be honest. So, carrying on, I like the idea, like, there was the loyalist Death Guard, and there were loyalist Night Lords, and loyalist, Iron Warriors and stuff, so, yeah, I have a sore throat, because I bloody got an illness while at work. Very irritating. So do pardon my commentary. I'm going to try and force feed myself, cough medicine, but hopefully it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Pardon me. Bloody buggering hell. I only have 600 Marines? Thought I actually asked for more. Oh well. Right. But yeah, I do genuinely quite like the Cacaradons fluff, because if you read the latest Forge World books, it actually reveals where they came from. Which I think is quite interesting. Because if you didn't know, I think it's actually confirmed now, the Cacaradons are actually members of the original Raven Guard Legion. Now what happened was, after Corax took control of the Raven Guard, he looked at his Marines and realized that they were all tyrannical, murdering despots who were closer to the Night Lords than the Raven Guard we know today. And that's because they were. They were basically treated as an extension of the Lunar Wolves. They were basically treated as a separate company of the Lunar Wolves Legion. And they were specialized in basically being Night Lords, really. Going around, slaughtering and destroying and killing everything. I'm guessing we're going to get our ass kicked, but I want to give this a go anyway. Oh, actually. Oh. Excellent. Okay. Huh. Lost 5 Assault Marines. That was actually not that bad. I'm very impressed with that. Anyway. Corax realized his Legion were a bunch of, murdering tyrannical despots when he took command. And rather than pull a Petarablo and fucking decimate his own fucking Legion and execute them, furthermore reason to hence why the Iron Warriors are a bunch of dumbass tools, basically Corax just got all of the worst of his Legion together, gave them a whole bunch of ships and said, go out on an eternal crusade and carry on what you're doing, but stay the fuck away from me, because I don't want anything to do with you. So they did, and those people, or those, fleets, ended up becoming the Cacaradons. They basically carried on crusading throughout the Imperium, doing their own thing, and ended up actually becoming the Cacaradons that we know today. Because they just ended up crusading all the way out to the edge of Imperial space, doing, whatever they wanted. So, I really like that. It's kind of cool, and it's an interesting little thing, They actually, Cacaradons, were actually Raven Guard that were just basically banished, and went to do their own thing. So, I really quite like that. It's an interesting little bit of fluff that I really think is pretty cool. Alright, we're going to carry on crusading over there. And also, as I was saying how Nostramo's, quite fitting for the Cacaradons, apparently during the heresy, the Cacaradons actually came back to Imperial space and actually went around trashing the Nostramo sector. The planet Nostramo itself was already exterminated by Conrad Kurz, but the Cacaradons actually went around wiping out all of the other systems or worlds in the Nostramo system, taking them over for themselves, taking recruits, former Night Lord Legion recruits, taking supplies, weapons, equipment, and basically carving out their own little corner of the Imperium on the graves of the Night Lords, former, fiefdoms, which is also pretty cool. Kind of traitorous and heretical, making your own empire. We tend to ignore Gilliman's version of that. Denounce, you disgusting orc! Okay, but... Oh, and my fleet's going to run right into them, aren't they? What are we going to have to fight here? We'll figure that out in a turn or so. But... yeah, it's genuinely an interesting little bit of fluff about the Cacaradons. And while I personally don't appreciate their, bloodthirsty ways, someone has to. I suppose it's always the thing. It's like how the flesh tearers get away with it. Someone has to be the despot. Someone has to actually, show no mercy and destroy. Because if they don't, who will? The enemies you're fighting are ruthless, so you have to be ruthless yourself. So, I don't know. We'll see. 1 second, please. Apologies about that, audience. I genuinely am. All this talk about blood, and then both my nostrils start spewing blood everywhere. Which I never had nosebleeds as I was a child. It was only till like a few months ago when I started working with woodwork and sawdust and stuff that I started to get nosebleeds. It's crazy. But I will try and keep all of this crap to a minimum because I do apologize. This is not going the way I was hoping it would today. 54 Cacaradons versus 11 Tyranids. Oh, this is going to be a hilarious shit fight. 4 Assault Marines. Ooh hoo hoo. One company of Cacaradons takes down a whole bunch of Tyranids. Ah, they earn my respect for that. I genuinely do. Also, speaking of armamentorium, we should get some chain fists. And since I'm going to make this a multi-part video, maybe 2 or 3 parts, see how it goes. This isn't replacing Lamentor's Redemption, by the way, because nothing replaces the Lamentors. But we're going to get some chain axes, some chain fists, some flamers. We're going to get... Don't have any Mark III or Mark IV suits. Depressing. Vehicles. Oh, we've got a whole whole bunch of rhinos and predators. I'm guessing they're back on the home world, or the recruitment world. I'll have to go get them. Of course we're going to get close combat weapons for our dreadnoughts. Duh. And inferno cannons. Don't have enough for ships. Depressing. Cacaradons actually had a habit of stealing, repurposing, and basically scavenging any ships they could find to make them space-worthy to serve as their fleet. So they had a lot of ships, of different classes and sizes that actually made up their nomadic fleet, which is quite interesting. Apparently there was even a few captured Xenos ships in amongst their fleet, which I'm sure the Inquisition would be impressed with. That's what I was doing. Destroy. Keep that. That. There, that's what we want. Because the Chapter Master is well known for wearing Terminator armor and carrying dual lightning claws, and I thought it was depressing that we did not have any of those. Destroy. More. No. Greater Demon of Khorne. that's a worthy challenge for the Cacaradons. Nice. Oh, one scout was killed. Pathetic scout. You can't stand up to a bloodthirster as a scout, and you don't deserve to be in this chapter. I just imagine this as practice for the Cacaradons. It's like, great, something to kill. I don't care if it's a demon, let's kill it. Perfect. Oh, more demonic entities. Damn it, I destroyed the only suit of Terminator armor we have. Oh well, it was demonically possessed anyway. Which does remind me, Armamentorium. Terminator armor, how many do we have? 10 suits. Right. We need to equip you with Terminator armor. Nothing wrong with your artificer armor, but Terminator armor is actually more fitting. Okay. Now we've got the Chapter Master back sorted again. We may as well have a quick go re-equipping some guys with a few chain axes. And maybe re-equipping some guys with Terminator armor as well. No. I must be nuts attempting this at the moment. Any other commentator would have probably stopped to deal with the fact their nose is bleeding, but not me, because I am that loyal to the Emperor. And of course no one can actually use Terminator armor, so you all get chain axes instead. Congratulations. Chain axe. Perfection. Right, enough micromanagey crap. That stuff's for off-screen while you're not looking. Because it doesn't make for exciting video play, I'm afraid. Now, what were you doing? You were fighting Tyranids, but you only have one company. That's right, so I was going to deal with these guys who were about to engage in a fleet battle. What? They're not. The Orc fleet and the Cacaradons are just on standby. Is that it? Huh? Huh? Maybe we'll fall back and come back again. That's very weird, the Orc fleet not refusing an engagement. That just seems underlyingly wrong. Where's another Cacaradon fleet? I need to engage in more combat. More combat! Ooh. Moderate, heavy, heavy. Damn it! They were sparse originally. How many men do I have? 50 Marines? I can't take on. Oh, stuff it. You're not a Cacaradon if you're not bloodthirstily, insanely stupid. So may as well just keep fighting. Hey, it reminds me of that, oh, I only lost 3 assault marines, that's not bad. Reminds me of that, there was a battle during the Badab War between the Cacaradons and the Executioners chapter, which is as well known as the Cacaradons for being bloodthirsty, you know, insane melee enthusiasts. And apparently, it was quite cool, some other Astartes ended up coming across the site, and it was a slaughterhouse with both sides completely wiping each other out. And neither the Cacaradons or the Executioners claimed the battle ever happened. Which is quite interesting, but it's hard to deny. Just imagine a Cacaradon and a Executioner being walked into the room, and it's a complete slaughterhouse. There's like blood caked on the walls, there's, you know, dead Marines and Executioners blue and Cacaradon grey power armor everywhere, you know, weapons in their hands, you know, it's wiped out, you know, blood dripping from the ceiling, an Inquisitor bringing an Executioner captain and the Cacaradon captain into the room and going, "Can you explain this?" And both of them just turn and look to the, you know, look around the completely wiped out room and then just look at the Inquisitor and go, "I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Goodbye," and just walking away again. Maybe it's not as funny as the way I pronounce it, but in my head, it's extremely hilarious. Alright. Gonna try attempt number 2. What? I can't fight this Orc fleet. What? Well, that's just stupid. Well, The game's glitched. That's annoying. I was hoping for a good fleet battle. No matter. We may as well fight some more Tyranids and call it a day. Alright. Cacaradons. For the Emperor, full strength attack. Charge in with your chain blades and your melee weapons. Kill everything that moves. And everything that doesn't move. In fact, kill everything. 35 chainsword motors rev and hack at the Genestealer ranks. Oh, I lost 2 assault marines. That's not bad attrition rate. Recruitment. Oh, we should probably do maybe a moderate recruit. And everyone else is fine. Pohocrium. Cool. Genestealers. Genestealer currently number 480. Wow. I think we could step up recruitment a bit. Good work. And the fleet, all ships are going well. Well, on that high note, I thank you very much for watching, everyone, if you did. Apologies for the distractions in the video. I will pump myself full of cough suppressants and painkillers for tomorrow's video, which should be a Lamenter's Redemption, and then I want to maybe get back into doing a few console videos, maybe continue on with Fallout. We'll see how we go. So, cheers for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I will bring this back for a couple more parts and just see if you guys like it or not, and go from there. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I promise I'll be a bit better next time. And I'll see you all later on. Bye-bye.